Yes, good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, those of you listening locally, regionally, and internationally. It is Hard Talk, and now 25 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the Spice Island of Grenada. Our home, our sweet home, yeah? We are blessed to be the best. And Hard Talk is live on 97.5 CitysoundFM, 89.5 CRFM, 92.9 Sister Isles FM, 94.9 We Noise Radio. Now, folks, we're doing some work in studio, huh? Yeah, we're updating and upgrading and all of that, yeah? So you'll bear with us this morning. This program may sound slightly different. Also, you know, Devon is not with us this morning. He'll be out for a couple weeks. But don't worry, believe me, knowing Devon, you will still be hearing Devon because nothing wrong with his voice. And you know his mind is as sharp as ever, yeah? In fact, bro, Devon, you better be back in studio October 19th coming up with a man. You can't leave me alone to do that program. Just realize, you know, October 19th, October 25th, that is Devon program, yeah? That's not even Hard Talk program. That is Devon program. So, bro, you know you had to find yourself inside here by that time, eh? Nice, all right. Even if you're still on leave, don't worry, we will fix it up nicely, right? Nice, yeah, but you have to be inside here by then. Morning, Antonia. Hope that you're having a wonderful morning this morning.
Well, just break a branch. Or you meet up a tree. It don't matter. It's a tree mass. It's a different kind of mass. We play tree mass.
Morning to you, Lulu.
Break your tree. You're a blessed people down in the West Indies. Like that. We don't have no snow, spring, winter, weather like this.
Don't worry, I'll be going up by Jamari later on. Professor Jamari.
Get a branch. In the Caribbean, you don't have to pay no fees. Just get a cutlass and then go cut a couple branches. Free mass. Like if you have a bag of worries. You don't have to sell a bag of home and couple of keys. Just trees. Everybody. Where else to see mass like these? Just cut a couple branches. Coconut, two peach and peach trees. How you mean? Them never see mass like these. Just cut a couple branches. Coconut, two peach and peach.
So we say a special good morning to all of you on the live. Remember to like and share the live. Like the live and then share it. Yeah, looking at myself on video, it's about that time to visit the barber. No, not the locks, not the locks. Let's see what's in the inbox. So, folks, those of you up in Monjalo, good morning to you, Miss Clytie. Miss Clytie, what? The phone number inside here is the same. No, Miss Clytie, me and you go talk. I'm calling you after the program. I haven't heard from Nenny for quite a long time. Anytime that happens, I begin to become extremely worried. Miss Bernice, hope all is well. So for those of you in Monjalo, there's the opening of the Monjalo Sports Club Human Resource Development Center, and that's taking place at the Monjalo playing field this Saturday, from 4:30 p.m. So those of you in Monjalo, and also they'll be commissioning the lights up there at the Monjalo playing field. So Monjalo, you've got your floodlights for your playing field. You've also got the commissioning of the lights, and then you have the opening of the Monjalo Sports Club and the Human Resource Development Center. Well, the opening of the Monjalo Sports Club Human Resource Development Center, if I'm reading it properly. That's starting from 4:30 p.m. this Saturday.
people. You know. The old man from the
Yeah. This Saturday.
trees in the West Indies.
Let's see what else is in the inbox.
Just got a couple ranches, coconut to peach and peace trees in the West Indies. Them never see us like these. Just got a couple ranches, coconut to peach trees.
Yeah, those gentlemen,
See us like these. Just got a couple ranches
the heroic young gentlemen
in the West Indies.
who dove into action. Literally, they dived into action because they actually literally dived into the water. Yeah.
It goes like that.
They are at this time, maybe the ceremony is finished yet, bro? The ceremony has finished now? The ceremony is still going on. Yeah, boy. What? The praying for them fellas and them too. Well, yeah. Well, the Royal Grenada Police Force,
These trees in the West Indies.
hierarchy of the police force, they are having an emulation ceremony for these young men,
Them to see us like these.
recognizing them officially.
Peach and peace trees in the West Indies. Them never see us like these. Just got a couple
Yeah, so it's still going on.
peach and peace.
Seeing one of the senior officers speaking right now. I can't make out who it is from where I'm sitting. Yeah, so I'm seeing that taking place right now. I think it should be ending about now. Yeah, most likely it's ending about now. So you're going to look for that on the news tonight. Young men from Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and I believe there's a Grenadian in there too, yeah. Police officers. One of those police officers isn't in the police band as well, Naz. I saw one of those guys, yeah, in fact, yeah, Harford, man, yeah. He's a good producer and so on too. He produced some of the music for some of the guys in the police force. Man, multi-talented. Police officer, musician, producer, and hero. So again, on behalf of the Hard Talk family, we'd like to congratulate each and every one of them. And yesterday, we heard the Minister of Health reading out a list. I have to get my hands on that list. I think it needs to be repeated more than just at the post-cabinet press briefing. And I don't want to call names because I can't remember many of them. I remember the name, only two of the names I remember. And I could mention the two that I remember, Dr. Martin, who it was mentioned left over at the stadium when he heard what happened because he was at the stadium coordinating with the medical team over there. And he left the stadium and went up to the general hospital when he heard of that incident that took place. And also I heard the name Carriacou. I think Carriacou was one of the other names I heard. Can't remember much of the others. And it's not that I'm attempting to be disrespectful, it's just that I do not have the list. I want to get the list itself. Because I believe all of those names need to be repeated. "33 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. The phone lines are open, 440-7377. And for those of you who are outside of Grenada, you're in Canada, North America, you can call 347-329-3101. That's 347-329-3101. Also heard the question being asked. Hey, morning to you, Sonia and Betty. I'm seeing you all on this morning, yeah? Remember to like and share the live, Like and share the live. Pele. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten that is Vieko. Vieko, not Veku. Vieko, eh? Marianne, good morning to you. Morning, Javon. Daddy baby waving. Daddy baby grinning this morning. We've got a call online. Good morning.
Yes, Bruds, good morning.
Hey, sir.
Yeah, how things?
Ade, we were supposed to see the other day, but timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was down there, I take out 2 teeth, boy. That was cool.
Yeah, and In no time flat smooth.
Man, I don't even know when he come out. It was cool, boy. It was cool.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but them people and them listen too much stupid talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and afterwards, when they realize, yeah, they flag the place down.
Man, Bull, you didn't see there on the Thursday, man.
I watched down there, but I didn't really come down there.
Yeah, man. When you see that the Thursday and the Friday, man. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because on the Monday, they had to basically make the run around to different media houses. Remember, they came here, they went to different media houses.
Yeah.
To get people to go out.
Yeah.
And you have an idiot that's on radio.
Yes, no joke.
Saying that all they should become.
Calling him that through my belly came.
Certain people's name isn't worth going through. You see, I'm not interested in men, so I don't focus on them. Mm-hmm. But it seems as though some of them like man. They are men that like men.
True.
So they have my name to call. So I don't waste time with them.
Yeah.
If that's the thing, that's the thing. You know, I'm not against anybody. And if that's the thing, that's the thing.
Yes,
I know in it.
What? I see down here this morning and I hear you talking there. What? When you see you, that's why people don't like you. You know? Because you see you have too much information. You have too much information. With all different organizations in Grenada here. But they don't send things for you.
Yep, we've got it.
Yeah, to
We've
publish
got it.
certain things for them.
We've got it,
joke.
man.
No joke. I hear you this morning and thing you coming out there with. I say, Lord, if Sheldon didn't there, we don't know all what going on like that, you know.
I see that's the thing. We're supposed to be informing each other. We're supposed to first of all, before we go onto the radio with it,
that's
we
right.
have to make sure it's truthful, it's reasonable, and that sort of thing. And we're supposed to be informing each other.
Yeah.
But say what, some people just like Millie.
Them that say they want to come in power, they have no information. Everything that is good, they're turning it into bad and saying he ain't good, man. Kem and them better be careful, boy.
Don't worry, it's begging time.
It's a matter of time for Kem and them in 15 again, you know.
This around now is begging time. But anyhow, Bull, we go talk again, brother.
Take care, buddy.
All right.
Right.
That's my partner, Bull. Well, if I like to joke thing. They know me ain't afraid nobody. Folks, remember, because some of us will just forget quickly, huh? The people of the Bahamas still need our help. I think we should go into the Grenada Cooperative Bank. Remember to top them up, man. The account number 121004900. Let me take that a lot slower. 121004900. So 121004900. Just a few weeks ago, we were crying and bawling for the people in the Bahamas. Their situation hasn't changed, you know. Many of them are still without homes. You still have over 1,000 missing. Yeah, that figure came down from the 2,500 to around 1,300. So you still have roughly 1,300 or so people that are missing. Maybe that figure has changed again between the last time I heard that information and now. Hopefully. Yes, indeed. So the guys, they have been congratulated by the Royal Grenada Police Force. They have been officially recognized. And I don't think that's the last time we're going to be hearing about them being officially recognized. So the police have done it. And I believe there are others to come. This morning I heard Shaggy saying, yeah, some envelope. Lady, whoever sent the envelope, congratulations to you, I hear a policeman lose his money. And he loses his mobile device. Flo, Digicel, all you should be jumping over all yourself to see which one are all you're going to give that guy back a mobile device. It's not like he don't deserve it. He didn't think about that. So he's supposed to have to come and buy one now? Come on, man. One all should have done jump in and give you a new one already. And he lose the cash. Watch if the man uniform the damage and all. One of you that buy a uniform for your papa. If you wanted 3 uniform again. We'd have pay for it. Believe me, I think sometimes we forget too quickly. So we have to remember the people in the Bahamas. We have to remember our brothers and sisters in the Bahamas. Remember, the only thing separating them and us was the boat where the boat stopped. Yeah, he stopped here, and then he stopped there, or he stopped there, and then he stopped here. The only thing different is where the boat stopped when it came over from Africa with the slaves. We are all one people. Because some people from village Ukunu, somewhere in Ghana or Ivory Coast, from village Ukunu. Some people from Ukunu end up here. Some people from Ukunu end up there. So we are all brothers and sisters. This stupidness about you're from that island and this island and the other island, all of us are one people. Time we shop this stupidness. Yeah? Nice. So help. 121004900. That's the number. Going Cooperative Bank. Help. If you all want to get in contact with the Royal Grenada Police Force to pass a little something on to the young men, I feel that's the best place to pass it. Yeah, you could pass it through the police force there and get to them young men. (4407377). Also, we heard of the many surgeries that were done. Quite a few surgeries dealing with cataracts and the thygirium. Yes, I learned how to pronounce it. Thygirium. Dr. Martin would be proud. And I know some folks have been asking, because I've been listening to some of the programs, and some folks have been asking about why do we have so many of those types of surgeries to do. And the thing is this, we have a high incidence in Grenada of these sort of things. The thygirium, that's a piece of flesh going across the lens of the eye, and cataracts as well. We have a high incidence of that in Grenada and the Caribbean. Let me spread it. It's not just Grenada, because a lot of times we tend to take things in the context of Grenada alone. But we have a high incidence of that. Now, the medical professionals are looking to see now, obviously, we live in a climate, we live in an area where we have a lot of sunshine, which can be a contributing factor to that. That's one. It can. The scientific study to say whether or not that is the main contributing factor or there are other contributing factors. The main thing to say whether or not, that has not been done. So there needs to be that study urgently as to why we have so many people, because you had Miracle Eye. Yeah, you had Miracle Eye. That is no longer in existence, but you had Miracle Eye. You also have about 2 different groups of people that come to Grenada on a yearly basis, and do a number of these surgeries, the cataract surgeries and other eye surgeries, and other surgeries as well. Groups of doctors that come from the United States and Canada and do these groups of surgeries every year. And even with that, plus the surgeries that take place on a monthly basis at the General Hospital, plus the surgeries that people have found their own resources and done privately. Even with all of that, we still have a significant number of people that need surgery. It means that we have a high incidence of cataracts and other eye ailments taking place in the state of Grenada. Yeah? Because you had the ship come, you had the Chinese vessel. Was it late last year or early this year? I'm trying to remember. I believe it's earlier this year that vessel was here. And you had some people that got that sort of surgery and other surgeries done there. You had the American vessel come now, and people had that surgery done. And you have people that are scheduled for when one of these teams come in again to do those surgeries next year. Plus the people who are in the General Hospital have the surgery to do next month and in a couple of weeks, or maybe even this week. Yeah? So we have those people. So there's something that's causing that. There's a second one. And Minister did address that. And he said it is of concern that we've seen 3 doctors, 3 medical doctors, 3 beloved, intelligent, important human resource to Grenada that we've lost in the past couple months. Yeah? And we've seen what is considered a high incident of cancer. And I think people are looking at this the wrong way. They're looking at it just at doctors. But we have a high incidence of cancer across the board. Not just with doctors. Young, old, middle-aged, teenage, all different levels of people. I have a friend that lost a finger recently. And they're in the 20s. Cancer. Yeah, they lost one of their digits. Cancer. I have friends who've died. Cervical cancer, breast cancer, in their 30s. It says something to us because we have a significant number of our population that are in their 70s and their 80s and their 90s and making their hundreds, and they're healthy. So it should say something to us that maybe it is something that we, the younger generations, are doing that we ought not to do, that is causing that high incidence of cancer and other ailments, kidney ailments. And can we really say, because have we looked, and that's another thing, have we really looked at the figures of the numbers of people that died with cancer in the 1970s and the 1980s and the 1990s? Have we really looked at the figures to see the number of people who have been dying over the years with these ailments? Yeah? Nice. So I get some information there. Digicel on the ball. Digicel presented devices to all 10 heroes at the RGPF ceremony this morning. So Digicel, right, well, you do the right thing. Cook! Sita Hal! You do the right thing, man. So Digicel presented devices to all 10 heroes at the Royal Grenada Police Force ceremony this morning. Right? And I hope I ain't going to give them no cheap thing there. You know? Give them men and them top of the line devices. You know? All right? Yeah. Let's see. What to say there? The surgeon said we are too close to the sun. Okay, right. So I think it's one thing, because generally, when you see Grenadians going back, going out, and so on, generally, the majority of people, like my partner Nazi B, I never see he wear dark shades yet. He doesn't protect his eyes. My glasses are always transitional. So, and Mr. Watts, my glasses are always transitional. So when I go out into the sun, my eyes are protected. And even before I started wearing transitional lens, I usually wore dark shades when I was heading out into the sun. So I protected my eyes to a level. Yeah? I have other eye issues. Not them, but I have other eye issues. But we have issues that are taking place when it comes to the eyes, and when it comes to cancer, when it comes to diabetes. And I dare to say that off the cuff, I believe a lot of that has to do with the lifestyle. The change in lifestyle that we have. Yeah? That's what I believe. That doesn't make it the truth. That makes it what I believe. I believe that we have to do a lot of introspection. And we have to look at the fact that we have people who are 100 and 99 and what their lifestyle was like. That if they were leaving St. Paul's to go to town, they were not taking a bus. You could be guaranteed on that. When they were leaving St. Paul's to go to town, you know it's walk they had to walk. So if they had to reach for 9 o'clock, you know they had to leave at a particular time walking going down. Because we didn't have no pile of vehicles. I didn't have no pile of buses we have right now, bus jam up all over. Yeah? They were going to Grand Dance or certain areas is walk, you had to walk. So they were more energetic. They exercised more. They were more strong because they exercised more. You're seeing students going to St. Joseph's Convent, St. George, and taking a bus from the Papa God, taking a bus from the Market Square to drop by the school, St. Joseph's Convent. Even guys going PBC back in the days, you ain't taking a bus from the terminal to go and drop up on the hill to go to PBC. Number one, it didn't have that amount of bus. And number two, that wasn't something you consider. You weren't going to get money to go and do that. Take a bus from town to go and drop right there. But we see it happening now, and it's become the norm. You see a person jump a bus just to go a few meters down the road. It has become, and not with load, you know. They just decide I'm walking, which is the best thing, exercise. Many of us, like myself, who usually would walk a lot before, we have gotten to the stage where we're driving. So before, where I might have decided I'll go in and collect something out the road, so I just walk out the road and collect it. Now you find yourself, you jump in the car, you bounce the key, and you move. You're going to collect that. Sometimes you end up all places that you didn't intend to go because you drive out. But instead of walking, we're not exercising as much. So the percentage of the population, young, middle-aged, elderly, that used to do a lot of walking, we're not walking as much as we used to before. Instead, what you find is people taking out gym membership. And you find a lot of people taking out the gym membership when Carnival coming up, because they want that body to look a certain way when they're going. Or at the end of the year, New Year's resolution. I want to be fit and healthy for the new year. So they go and take out a gym membership. January, they're heavy in the gym. By February, they start to miss days. And by April, they forget about that already. Until time for them to jump back in the gym in June. They say they go in June, July to get fit and healthy to jump the road for Carnival in August. We've changed the ways that we operate. Yeah? A lot of people used to do backyard gardening. We don't do backyard gardening. So there are several factors, and I'm not saying that these are the only factors. I'm saying let's take a look at ourselves and what differently Grenadians are doing now to what we did before. Many of us, most homes, used to do backyard gardening. Yeah? Most of us. Once you had the space, even people living in town used to have the little garden plot. But that has gone. One, you don't get the exercise from going and do the gardening. Whether it's the hard or the medium or the intensive labor, we don't get that again. So many people have left that out. They decide now just to run in the supermarket and purchase when they should really go in the market square and support the vendors in the market square now. Yeah. But they go in the supermarket and buy the produce and so, or they wait until somebody passing around and selling. But number one, you got fresh, organic produce that had no chemicals in it. You were sure it had no chemicals because you that grew it. You didn't put any chemicals in it. Most you might have in it is some pen manure. You grew it. So you know there are no chemicals there. It was getting the pure minerals and vitamins and protein, etc. from the fruits because you grew it. That's a factor in my view. Now, to get that, you have to jump a bus and you have to go down in town and you have to go and try and buy it some way, or you have to get somebody to buy it and bring it for you because we don't do backyard gardening. Because even the way that we live now has changed. A lot of people now, they're renting apartments and different things without space in the back to do the gardening. All of that, even the way that we live has changed. Yeah? But we change how we eat. How many of you does get fresh cow milk? I'm talking about unpasteurized fresh cow milk, straight from the cow to you. How many of you does get cow milk like that again? I'm sure less than 0.00001% of the population probably have to own a cow. Yeah? That's how many of us probably does get that. Well, not us, because I don't get it. Or fresh goat milk, fresh cow milk. No, when we want milk now, we head to the neighborhood shop or we head to the supermarket and we get pasteurized milk that probably come from a cow sometime earlier in the year. No, let's be honest here. Check the manufacturing date. And the manufacturing date was the date that they put it into the can or the box. That's not the date that they milk the cow. Let me get that straight. The manufacturing date was the date went into the can or the box. And you realize sometimes months ago was when they get that from that cow. That cow probably gone to the great beyond already. But that is what we do now. We no longer get the fresh produce, fresh organic produce. What we get is a lot of stuff that's treated with chemicals from outside of Grenada. Treated with chemicals. And in some instances, if we trace properly, some of those chemicals have been banned in some places. For years, continued using things like, in fact, I think they still use Roundup. And so here in Grenada, Roundup has been banned in most countries. Banned. Because of what it contains. It leaches into the soil. It leaches into the soil. And it gets into the fruits. And it gets into you. And then you're wondering why people turning up with all kinds of cancer. There was a study in Guadeloupe a few years ago. And they were wondering why was there a high incident of cancer on the island of Guadeloupe. I read the article, and I should have the article somewhere. But as I said, we have several system challenges in here as we're improving. And when they checked what was going on in Guadeloupe, they realized for some reason the trees looking a little more bright, a little more green than they should look. Only to realize now that the chemicals that they were spraying the bananas with over the decades, that those chemicals were causing the cancer that they were finding in Guadeloupe. Some out-of-the-way cancer, some types of cancer that you find 1 in how much million, and they were finding it in people there. Or 1 in how much thousand, you were finding it there. Popping up in 1 or 2 people. Very unlikely. And here in Grenada, there were places that some people were using a lot of chemicals. Yes, Antonia. A lot of areas here, there were people that were planting bananas or working in banana production and so on. And chemicals were being used in that. Chemicals that I'm pretty sure that if you check right now, the chemicals we were probably using in bananas in the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s are banned. Banned. You can't use them. Because now they find out that some of these things have chemicals in them that should not be used around anything to be consumed by human beings. That have in some instances poisoned soil. Yeah? So that's another possibility that could be looked into. I often say it on this program. Because I know that's how it used to be with my family. Somebody come from overseas. See my grandmother walk outside. You see a fowl passing and you see she just grab that and swing it. I know how that woman's hand was fast, so boy. When she lashing it too, she hand used to be fast too, although I never get licks. But anyhow, she grab that and by the time she swing it, all you know is you see her, she there and she plucking her fowl, the yard fowl, and then she go and she cook that. Yeah, it might take long to cook, yard fowl already. But if you put it on a coals fire outside, yeah, or a wood fire outside, you go cook, man, eventually. But it was a fowl that you knew how it grow. You grow it with the corn and so that you had, and the bread and the other things that you had. You know how you grow it. And it wasn't pumped full of chemicals as some of the stuff that we getting from overseas right now. The same with when we grew our pigs, for those who eat that. The same with our sheep and our goats. The same with our cows. We know that our cows were not injected with anything to make them grow faster. Because we grew it. Yeah? But now, many of us, we just go in the supermarket and we purchase. And then we wonder why we come down with all sorts of things. Some of those are some of the reasons that we come down, in my view. Some of those are some of the reasons that we come down with some of those things. Folks, I'm going to open the phone lines. I get 440-7377. I saw one of you trying to call there. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. So it's not just doctors, it's not just nurses. By and large, I think every segment of the society. You go to Gogov or Lacqua's website right now and try and find out the cause behind the deaths of the majority of people that you're seeing there right now. A lot of these chemicals cause incidents of kidney failure. Ask yourself in some instances where these individuals grew up. They may have grew up in banana, working in banana and certain things, or even in the days where they may use certain things. So cocoa, I don't know much about cocoa. If they used to use chemicals around cocoa and those sort of things. And you know what? We're encouraging our children into the wrong thing right now. And I'll get to that one after this call.
Good morning, Brother Sheldon.
Morning.
Morning, Brother Sheldon. I want to say, well done. The young man that even the water to rescue them people that went down in the water with the boss. I also say congratulations to the young man. These young men, they demonstrate the care and that love for others. They did not think about themselves. They think about the people in the water, and he's alive, and he's down in the water to rescue them. I say congratulations to them. They deserve congratulations, and they always will remember in people who cares and love people hard. So I want to say, well done, young men. They do a wonderful job for saving people's lives. That's what we are there for, to love and to care and to demonstrate that love to others. I know, there are some people that will never talk about that. They always talk about the negative. But we will talk about the bravery of the young men that did a wonderful job in rescuing people's lives. So, Brother Sheldon, you want to God bless you.
All right, my brother.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, congratulations again to them, those young men. All right, yeah. Folks, yeah. So I think we have to look at our lifestyles. And I'll warn you all. We, as a Grenadian people, are in the process of eradicating an entire generation. Well, if I'm harsh, no, let's be factual. I know Prime Minister will agree with me 1,000,000% on this. We need to start changing the snacking lifestyle that we have. This lifestyle where our children, they're going to school and we give them in their bag, because some of them shame to walk with lunch kit these days and think there's more treat in the bag. You run in the shop and you buy a 2-pack of conkles and you give them, and a box juice. We killing our children. We doing it. You're finding children before the age of 12 with diabetes. Well, you didn't know that? Yeah. Children before the age of 12 here in Grenada with diabetes. 1, because they're born predisposed to it, and 2, because of what you're feeding them. I was thinking the other day, I said, well, look, during summer vacation for me, and during Easter vacation, as a child, when I was up to the age of 15, 16, all there, from there and younger, the only thing I knew as a snack, when you're home during Easter vacation and when you're home during summer vacation, as we call it now, were things like mango, tambran, golden apple, French cushion. These were the things. But you know in Trinidad they call it pomerac and pomsite. So pomerac, pomsite. I go and look for tambran. Yeah? We used to dunk the chew to the tambran leaf and all. Yeah? You're taking the leaf from the tambran and you're chewing it like all them older people used to chew tobacco. We used to chew the tambran leaf. And you're getting a taste similar to the tambran. But you have to know when to do that. Yeah. Taking plum and make plum stew. Or we used to eat it just like that. Mango, well, you know mango already. That is king of it all. We're going for 5-finger carambola. These were the things we knew as snacks. Nobody had to give us 50 cents and say go in the shop. If you go in the shop, those days in my neck of the woods, when we go to the shop to buy anything, used to be the same locally made products again. So it used to be stuff like you go in and buy red mango and think, I spent part of my childhood in Trinidad. So it used to be the red mango or the damsel stew or the plum stew. That sort of thing. Once you see the neighbor parlor selling that, you're running to buy. So it was still the same thing. How many of you know where to find cassava right now? I see somebody talking about cassava there. Claudette, yeah, I see you talking about cassava. Yeah? Cassava, okra, yam, peas, potatoes, pumpkin, all of that used to be growing home. You ain't going to buy that in tongue. You ain't going to buy that in tongue. Most used to buy is rice, if you want rice. Some people don't used to buy rice. Because you have all of that home and you cook that with a yari. You're good to go. But no, we out of that now. I have nothing against KFC. KFC contributes a lot. They relay meat and all these things. But I think some people make it a habit. That's where they live. And sometimes, to be very honest with you, and to be a bit rude too, to be very honest with you, you see some people walking into KFC and you're hoping the security stop them because like, yo, boy, that's not for you. Leave it alone. You think you're enough trouble as it is? Because look at the size of the individual. Stay out of there. Where you going? Go and get some greens and eat. And these are the same individuals who end up in the general hospital with kidney problems due to diabetes, with eye problems due to diabetes. Or all of a sudden you see they get small and you wonder why and you hear it's some form of cancer. And I'm not saying that is KFC causing that. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying it's KFC causing that. Yeah? I'm saying the lifestyles that we live. Yeah? And the move away from the organic, home-produced, fresh foods. Those are some of the things that are causing these problems. And as a people, we need to make a conscious decision to start to grow local, buy local, eat local. When was the last time you eat a cassava bread? When was the last time you eat some farine? Zim, when was the last time you eat some farine? Never? When was the last time you eat some farine? A couple of years? Within the last year, you eat some farine. You're a lucky fella. A lot of people can't say that. When's the last time you eat some proper cuckoo? Well, now you was in Carriacou recently, so yeah, I can't hold you on that one. I can't. Sunday eat cuckoo too. Nah, I can't hold you on that one. You a guy that's go Carriacou regular. Carriacou people listening to that and they're laughing at me right now. But yeah, when's the last time you had a nice glass of fresh homemade lime juice? Or golden apple juice? Or when cherry in season, cherry juice? Tambran juice? No, we don't want that. We want to run and buy something in a box that come from another country. We want to go and buy something in a bottle that come from another country. And we have our stuff here that we can use. Yeah? And then we still wondering why people coming down with high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer, and a higher rate throughout the Caribbean region. Our snacks didn't used to be run and buy a pack of this and that. Our snacks used to be go in the bush, where you exercise, climb the tree, pelt, learn how to stone down mango and golden apple and so, gather it, and sit down you and your friends and eat. You just wash that in the river or wherever and you eat. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sheldon Scott.
Hey, morning, Cammy.
Morning.
Morning, how you doing this morning?
How you doing?
I am good.
Well, actually, now listening to you talking about cherry juice and cuckoo and all these things. Well, Sheldon, that's what I eat, you know. On Sunday, I eat cuckoo, Carriacou and cocoa and crab, side dish. And then I leave back a bowl and a fry for the whole week. Local corn flour, you know. I drink me Marby and
Ah.
I have passion fruit. I have the same cherry juice, Sheldon. You the use. You know.
But you ain't telling
I want
Sheldon
to say
pass.
good morning to Mr. Watt and Mr. Depodine and Fraser and Cathy and Cox and Patricia Campbell and them in New York City. You understand?
Yeah.
Good morning to all the Grenadians out there. Yeah. So, Sheldon, when you're talking about cooking, it's handfish and a fry, cuckoo and crab and callaloo. Sunday, I eat that.
Mm-hmm.
All the rain. The local corn flour. I buy from a man from the flour from Happy a Rastaman. Ahora Rastaman from Grenville bring them from here in dark because it's original. That's the local thing that I want to see.
But
I
that's
want
the
to say good
best.
morning to everybody. Right now, I pick breakfast and with sweet, thank God. I have breadfruit selling $2 and $3 today. Yes.
How much for them?
Hey,
How much for the breadfruit?
you don't want one back for one like so much in my tree.
All right.
And I have Zabuka. Yeah. I want to say good morning again to my children, wherever they is. I did, boy, think kind of work, but we do holding on. You
Yes,
gotta
yes.
hold on. Don't go under the water, Sheldon.
Not at all.
Keep your head above to breathe.
Yes,
If
of
you go
course.
down, come back up. Yeah, you know? So I'm there. I sit down in the terminal, we just be, me and Scoop and them, we just sit down here.
Nice, nice.
I want to say hi to everybody. To everybody. Yeah, God is good, you know, and we the land that is living, and we blessing Grenada. I pick a little oko, plant a few tree. Yeah, no boy. I plant a few tree in front of me door, and all every morning I pick into. So it's not so bad. I have food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I show you and all the Grenadians out there, I see everybody, and they come there. We took football now, but today I'm fighting. You
Yes,
know, and
yes, yes.
all the Grenadians out there, my daughter, my son, my friend, the nice sunshine in Grenada. And say hi to all them busmen, them government, them Grenville bus, you know, River Road Village, because we are student and them Granans. But them Granans busmen didn't buy water here. I could boast on them Grenville busmen. I could put my pot on the fire and them busmen from Grenville, Zion them, I show that. Not them Granans busmen, them boot on them. Anyhow, they can't stop me still. Anyhow, have a blessed day.
Same to you,
Everybody,
Cabby.
Grenada, we love each other. We have to love each other and live good with one another. Bye, Sheldon.
Bye,
And Devon,
Cabby.
everybody. Isaiah. Okay, later.
Later. Yes, indeed. Listen, folks, it's more than just what you eat, huh? And how you eat and that sort of thing. It's also how you treat your body. If you just want to get up in the morning and not be active, and then for the entire day you're not active, and the evening time you just go back and lie down and sleep and not be active, you will pay the price. You will pay the price. So you've got to take care of your body if your body has to take care of you. But I know when it comes to Carriacou people, I never ask them about things like cuckoo and all that kind of thing. I know they're busy with that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Mr. Scott, good morning. How are you?
People go say, I know who calling.
Madison calling from Carriacou. Yeah?
Hi, ma'am.
I was just saying, I was listening to you, and you were so right about the things we eat and the things we used to have. I remember in the old days, when the lash is growing, they send you to the shop with a straw bag. The straw bag was made from the same lash on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go there, we only going to buy sugar, salt, maybe some rice, kerosene, a bottle of kerosene, whatever.
Yep.
And then some piece of saltfish, piece of butter. And we have all this other food growing in our backyard or in the garden. So that's how we used to live. We don't go in the shop and buy anything expensive. We know there's artificial food that that the people sending to us now to destroy our body. Everything. That's why now they're making bread for chips. So we have to eat local, and we was more healthier than now. We go to the doctor, and sometimes we hardly go to the doctor. We get some bush, and we drink it, and we are right. Anyway, Sheldon, have a nice day.
Same to you, my dear.
Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah, and you see, the thing is this too. No one is saying that you can't eat KFC. I eat KFC. But you can't decide that that is going to be what you're going to have for breakfast, then for lunch, and then for dinner. You can't decide that you're going to eat that sort of thing all the time because of the high sodium content and so on. You can't decide that's what you're going to eat all the time, every day, all the time. Yeah? Because we know, as late as the 1990s, that the only time some young youths used to get at used to be around Christmas time. You get a little extra money and you go there and there's a treat. You go in for that. You want to reach on Granby Street fast. They ram up because a treat is a once in a blue moon thing that you get, or carnival time. You might get some money to go and you get that, or your birthday or something, you go and you get that. But now it becomes as nothing. Everybody's just... And no one is saying that you can't buy your lunch and buy things different places and so, because it are people working there, me or them lose their work. Right? You could buy it. But we have moved from the economic model where we as Grenadians spent very little at the supermarkets to where now we spend a lot at the supermarkets. And then we come back and blame government because we wouldn't make a kitchen garden to grow our own lettuce. When I was growing up in Springs, I never know about going and buy lettuce in town. Anybody who live in Springs and know me could tell you that. I don't know nothing about going in town and buy lettuce and cabbage and okra. I don't know about that. We used to grow it in the yard. Lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, okra in the yard. Yam, cassava, dasheen in the land. Me I know nothing about going in town and buy that. Cucumbers. Sometime I have to buy a cucumber or two in town because the cucumber didn't used to take all the time. I mean, I ain't go do that one. Peas, dry peas, so on. Growing up, I used to have to see after. The only thing I didn't have is cow. Anybody who knows me in Springs, who really knows me, because some people that say they know you, they ain't damn well know you. But some people who really knows me can tell you that. Have a pig. You used to have a sheep, goat, chicken, turkey, duck. You used to have all of that. Growing. You used to have to go in town and buy that. Who know about going in town and have to go and buy chicken or go in the supermarket and buy chicken? I know nothing about that. Always used to have. And duck and turkey. And strange enough, I don't eat turkey these days. But always used to have those things. One, it kept you healthy because in the morning you have to get up to go and do all of that and it's like an exercise. And two, you were growing it so you knew what you were giving it to eat. And you know you ain't giving them no chemicals and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's how I know the vet and them. An old gentleman from up in St. George Northeast Way that used to come all the time to see after my animals for me. Yeah? So we have to look back on that lifestyle and understand that there were several things that we've left off that we probably need to relook and go back after. But you have parents who are coming now that say, I don't want my child go through what I go through. This getting up 5 o'clock in the morning to go in garden, I don't want my child have to go through that. So yeah, let the child get up at 7 o'clock to reach the school for 8. Yeah? So then they wake up and just a bed, eat, jump a bus and go. According to where they live, that is. Yeah? So they had to go. And they don't have to go and jog water and things as before. They had to jog water. We used to have to jog water first. You get up in the morning, you had to go and jog water. Lucky if it's on the village standpipe. You're lucky if it's not from the spring. You have to go and jog water. Or the river. You have to bring the water for to cook and everything. Bring the water for everybody to bathe. Bring the water to cook. And if you have animals and things, you have to bring the animals water and so on too. bucket by bucket. That's why Kajam used to be hard so. It used to be strong so. But now we ain't know about that. Me want my child go through that. Me want my child do that kind of thing. Yeah? Let them sleep. I ain't want them going outside and do this. I ain't want them going outside and do that. That is the mentality that a lot of us have taken up. And then the same child who would have been climbing a mango tree in the morning and suck a 2 mangoes so they get the potassium, magnesium and all of that. And they might eat a 2 banana on top of that. So they're getting all the vitamins and so on that they're supposed to get without having to go and take any tablets. They're getting all those vitamins. Or together with that, they might even eat a 2 golden apple. All of that before they go to school, and they eat a 2 golden apple and suck a 2 skin up. So they have all the vitamins and so on that they need to have. They're energetic, they're strong. Instead of that right now, they get up in the morning and we ain't giving them that. We want to see if we could find some pancakes for them. Ain't it? They ain't getting no cassava farine. Yes, Hannah, you're right. Some of them children can't even climb a mango tree. No matter climb on the mango tree, we used to climb on with small little ball. Them old mango tree that they probably used to be around during slavery. Some of them get thrown down during Ivan and thing. These are to climb them tree. They don't know what God they serving. Them old tree that was how much feet in the air. You go in and climb to get mango. You and Super have to fight it out on top there. We have gotten too complacent when it comes to our health and fitness, and we have changed the way that we live. And then we ask ourselves why we see more incidents of cancer and diabetes and so on, especially among the younger population as well. That's not government, that is you. Government didn't tell you stop do your garden. Government didn't tell you stop send your children to see after a goat or see after a sheep or that sort of thing. Or to do a little something in the cocoa before they go in the morning. Government didn't tell you stop do that. You stop do that. And then we wonder what happened. No, we that do it. We that cause it. Yeah, we that cause that to ourselves. Again, I'm not saying that's the only cause. But I'm saying a lot of us would be a lot healthier if we go back to some of that. I'm not saying we need to go back to the rustic way of life. We could modernize a lot of the stuff in the way that we do and make it a lot easier to do. But it can be beneficial to us on the health end as well. So while we speak about implementation of the national health insurance, while we speak about improvement to the health sector, I prefer improvement to myself so I don't have to end up needing health insurance or the health sector. I got my weight down, you know. My weight, I find it was getting out of hand. I fixed that. Some people see me, they say, boy, where you going with that belly? I say, I'm going home. I got it down. See my partner, Nazi B, getting he own down too, boy. Yeah. You lose the pants go start to get slack on them there. Yeah, it's going down. Folks, 4407377. You either agree with me or don't agree with me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Championships in athletics. Team Grenada is out there. Gonna get some exact information as to when they'll be in action. We've got Lyndon Victor. He's out there in the decathlon. The Commonwealth Games bronze medalist and brother of the previous Commonwealth Games bronze medalist. Something in the gene pool. Try to remember the father name. Miss Felix, if you're listening, message me the father name again. Something in the gene pool. Or must be the dashing and yam down there in La Femme. In St. David in general. Don't watch, closure, some serious dashing and yam and thing up there too, and some banana and thing. They ain't behind back, you know. But Lyndon Victor, he'll be representing Grenada in the decathlon. We have the Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the javelin throw, Mr. Anderson Peters. He had to be the fish out there in Subies. And the yam and dashina and green figure and thing that he get up there. I know mommy does put it down heavy, you know. Good morning to you, mommy. And most likely you're hearing the program where you are. And in the 400 meter, we have Braylon Taplin. Yes, indeed, Braylon, you had to come down and get somebody dashing and thing, boy. You fix you up proper. Spend more time home. Yeah, Heads and David, we go fix you. Now we done with you, brother. You and Karani alone making the 4x4 team. We ain't even adding 2 more fellas. And we have Karani James, former world champion, former Olympic champion, Olympic gold and silver medalist. In the 400 meter, they'll be in action, representing Grenada in the 400 meter. And folks, remember next year is an Olympic year. We're looking forward to that one, huh? We've got a call online. Good morning.
Sheldon, you know, I sit down here, you just remind me of the hard days I had. I went through a real hard time in my life as a young woman growing up. That remind me of breadfruit and butter, you know. Hot breadfruit, rose breadfruit and butter, and black sage tea. Sheldon, that I grew up on, you know.
Huh.
I mean, this is the best days of my life now. You know what I mean? I could drink tea with milk and them things. But I grew up hard. I remember the days again, Mr. Scott. I suck in mango and drink water to go to bed and just give me children whatever little. You know? I had a real hard life growing up. So this is the best days of my life now. Hard life. Are you talking there, you know?
Yeah.
Roast konjac with coconut oil.
Some people ain't know about that.
Mr. Scott, you know, yeah, I just bring back some memories that I went through. It's not like children now. They have it all. I didn't have that. I didn't have what they have, you know. One dog muzzle I had, Mr. Scott. Them black dog muzzle. That was ready to go to church on a Sunday. I had a hard life as a young girl growing up. I was a Cinderella in the house. You know the story about Cinderella?
Yeah, that's the one that had to do all the work, you know.
The sisters when they take advantage, she doing all the work. That was me. But thank God I make it. Have a good day. Bye.
All right, my dear. Yes, indeed. Yes, so I'm seeing here. Let me take that next call before I go on to the schedule. We have a call online. Good morning.
Oh, yes, good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all.
Nice. Go right ahead.
No co-host this morning?
Oh, no. He's out on leave for about 2 weeks at least.
Oh, you're a strong man, so you go hold the fort.
Yeah, me back, bro.
Okay, there is something I want to bring to your attention. And it has to do with government services.
Okay.
Do you think that government not having some basic pieces of equipment like loaders, backhoe, bobcat, excavator, and is affecting the performance of the government?
Not necessarily, because you see, a lot of those services are subcontracted. They provide jobs for people in the private sector, Grenadians in the private sector. So a lot of those jobs are subcontracted. If you're looking at it, though, from the perspective of the speed of getting something done, because if it's subcontracted, then you have to go through the bidding process, etc., which takes time. Whereas if it's owned by government, you just send it out
That's why I ask you this question.
Yeah.
Because you see, we have a group and many groups. We would want to do things where we need equipment to do things in a speedy way. And as a result of this contractual agreement or the government not having its equipment, it's very difficult now. The cost is one.
Yeah.
Because many times we hear that, well, it's too costly for this and too costly for that, or we can't get a piece of equipment. And so it's holding back the community, it's holding back some of the development the government should be undertaking. And so I don't know, I wrote, and I want you to help me, because you see, I know over the years we used to be getting equipment from government to do community work, right? But these days it's very, very hard as a result of, as they said to me, the cost is costly, and maybe, government doesn't want to help because they maybe they owe them some monies, and then so these things remain in limbo. And so I believe, I'm not saying government have all the equipment, but you see things as emergencies, the government should have its own equipment, a small fleet, so that when you have things like community development activities going on, and you need a bobcat or you need a backhoe for maybe an hour, 2, 3 hours, maybe a day, then you use the government equipment for that. Because you're going to wait on a private person, the government, to hire private equipment for that. Sometimes it's a no-no, because we're having that problem right now. Months we are asking for a backhoe for just about a day or maybe 3 hours to do what we're supposed to do, and we just can't have it. For instance, to bring some binders and so forth. In the past, government have the truck, they send the community development truck. These days you see it's difficult because the cost of it again and the availability of the equipment for government to hire. And so we can't get these binders, we can't get the machine, and we are at a stalemate. So I don't know if you could persuade the government, persuade the ministry, if they can just get a fleet, a small fleet of vehicles, and namely you want a loader, you want maybe tobaccos, you want maybe 3 or 4 trucks, you need an excavator, and you need maybe a tandem roller, a small roller that could take heel and flat.
But let me tell you this though.
Yeah.
Over the years, it has been proven, and I know that you're a person that has worked in the government service.
Oh yeah.
And you're not only a person that has worked, but has worked there, assessed things on your own, and you also read on what's going on regionally in relation to some of these things.
Oh yeah.
It has been proven that let's say the Ministry of Works decides that they're going to buy all of this equipment. Sometimes it ends up costing you more to buy and maintain these equipment than to subcontract it out and just get somebody to do the work.
No, I don't have. You see, if you could subtract it and get your work done when we make a request to the ministry or to the department, that's the problem. Is when we request. I don't mind the
subcontracting, yeah.
But when we make a request, we can get it on a timely basis.
Speedily.
I have no problem with that.
The other problem here.
But what I discover and what I was told is that one, they have availability, and two, the cost of this equipment outside the government is very high. And so that's what I'm saying, and that I confirm with the Ministry of Finance. It is costing the government much more to hire this equipment than to buy their own equipment. And if that being so, it will be a saving for us.
I do not believe that who told you that was being truthful with you. And here's why. Let me use an example in a nearby country. Trinidad runs their public transportation system.
Yeah.
They did an audit a few years ago. You know what they found? There were individuals that were working in the garage in Trinidad, in the garage that was taking care of all the buses and other vehicles, that were bringing in engines for their cars on the government thing. So they would bring in an engine, say the engine is needed for so and so, and then the engine disappear. It end up in their vehicle.
Well, let me tell you
as well as other bits and pieces. And we know bits, a small something for a car that look insignificant could cost hundreds of dollars.
Right, but let me tell you something, because I dealt with this, because I used to be the purchasing store person, right?
Right.
And before I entered the service, yes, that's what I heard, and I met it there. But you know something? It was stopped as soon as I enter and take charge. Yes, those exact things was happening, but it was stopped Because you see, once you have the right person in the job, and somebody like me who, no nonsense, and you are prepared to do your job irrespective of what? Management, accountability. And, I jailed my staff, I jailed my staff. So what you see in you could get somebody who could account for. I accounted for every single piece of thing that it didn't have in the government, because we get things that wasn't there and we put it back into stock. It was there until I left. There? Nobody could touch. If you touch, well, the consequence is yours. And so if you don't have good management, what you're saying there will happen. But if you could get people who will account and are very serious in the job, let me tell you something. It is a saving, because I bring millions of dollars of savings to the government. So what you say, I'm telling you here, if government take this chance, I don't mind assisting, but not sitting down and manage, but advise what to do. You get this fleet going. You put a small group of serious mechanics together, right? You hold them accountable, and therefore, you're reporting on a monthly basis. So you're watching everything. Definitely, the government is going to save, and you are going to get much more. I'm not saying you're putting aside the private people. I'm just saying a small fleet to do government emergencies. The government will still use the people in a contractual basis, but when it comes to what I'm saying there, emergencies like what we're trying to do, and you have a storm situation where you have to bring out a fleet that you can't hire, you can't get that fleet because it's in use, then once you put good managers in place and you hold them accountable, then government is going to save. So I want to ask you to persuade the government to do that, because it's going to save us taxpayers a lot of money. And those of us who are community-based oriented, where we want to do things and we are doing things, it will help us to develop the community and to expand things.
Before you leave, because I know you're running off, before you leave, let me just give one other perspective to this. In the back of my mind, I seem to remember that some of the equipment you're speaking about that you're looking for from the Ministry of Works, that the Ministry of Agriculture have it.
Some of them.
I seem to think. It wouldn't be like the ones that build the roads and so.
Yeah.
But the excavators and so on, there is a possibility that the Ministry of Agriculture may have those, which is why.
Because I follow up with the Ministry of Agriculture, and I did beg the Ministry of Agriculture, Farm Road Division, maybe about 15 years ago, when they was planning to sell the backhoe, the Bobcat, and whatever else equipment they had, the D6 and the D4, I begged them not to sell, because I went on my own, and I called Barbados, and I procured this space I get the pro forma invoice. It was costing them $5,000 for those important pieces of parts in Barbados. They did not get it for $5,000. You know what happened? 2 weeks later when I called, although the manager didn't tell me, no, we're not going to sell it. 2 weeks later when I called, it was sold. And right now, I am trying to get a light vehicle for La Sagesse, for the farm, the agricultural division in La Sagesse, that I had in Maribor. And I told them, look, don't sell this equipment, because I'm lobbying with the ministry now to get one for La Sagesse, because they need one in La Sagesse. You know how to understand? It is sold. In recent time, it is sold again. And now you close down the farm in the mechanic section in Maribor, and you have the equipment in the open, and most of them is not working. So it is when you cannot get people to do the job, and if you have to hold them accountable, and once you hold people accountable, that they have to account for everything under the control. And there's consequences. You will not have that.
I have to double check on a statement you just made about the certain department being closed at Maribor. I'm not saying that you're not being truthful.
No.
I'm saying I was not aware of it. I have to double check on that information.
I was shocked when I was told that there is no mechanical department there anymore, and the men
may have been moved though.
Sitting there doing that. Now all the equipment is down. You know, most
well,
of them is down.
I'll have to double check on that one.
The two equipment I was talking about, the two vans I was talking about, say it's no longer there. It is sold.
All right, but I'd like to thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. I have to double check that one myself, which is pretty easy for me to do. Now, folks, and you see, that's the thing, because in my view, and I've always put forward that view, I do not believe that individual ministries should have vehicles on their own. I've always believed that with all the ministries coming together at the ministerial complex, that all vehicles should be under the transport division. All government vehicles should be one color, branded Government of Grenada, so that when a vehicle has to go into town to drop off mail, you don't have a vehicle from the Ministry of Agriculture, one from the Ministry of Youth, one from the Ministry of Health, another one from some other department, all of them in town, crisscrossing, dropping off mail to different places, when you could have had one government vehicle making a mail run every hour, or every 2 hours, or every 3 hours, or whatever it is. You could have had one. That will significantly reduce the cost to government on vehicles, on parts, on time, on fuel, on everything. I've always believed that all vehicles need to be under one department. It shouldn't be that ministry this or that have two buses and they have a van and they have a this and they have a that. The only departments that I think should have specialized and specific vehicles are the Diplomatic Corps. In other words, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So they should have a fleet of vehicles that they use when there are dignitaries here to pick them up and transport them to and from and that sort of thing. So Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and probably Ministry of Health, which may have one or two specialized vehicles and so. So that sort of thing. Yeah, but generally I don't believe in the concept as it exists now of every ministry having their own set of vehicles. I do not believe in it. That is me, Sheldon. I've never believed in it, and I don't believe in it. I believe we should have all vehicles under one department, operating from one base, so that all the ministries send their mail to a specific mail room, and whether it is 9 a.m. the first mail run is made, the next one is made at 12, and the final one is made at 3. That is how it is done. And you don't have 6 and 7 vehicles crisscrossing each other doing basically the same thing. Yeah? That is how I think. Nice? Good. All right. Kathleen, no, we were not late on coming online today. I think we were online a good while now. No, I don't think we were late on coming online today. No. So, folks, I've told you about the International Athletic Federation, the World Championships. This is the biggest. These are the biggest games before the Olympic Games. There are no games bigger than this one closer to the Olympic Games. The Commonwealth Games doesn't have all the athletes that the World Championships have, because the Commonwealth Games does not have the Americans and so. Yeah, because they're not part of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Games only have the Commonwealth countries in it. The Pan American Games, they don't have all the countries in it as well. So the World Championships are the biggest championships next to the Olympic Games. So next week is going to be a busy week for sport. And we have our Grenadian team. Karani James, King Karani. We have Braylon Taplin, both of them in the 400 meter. Yeah, a lot of people only forget about Karani. When you talk about Karani, you run a 44.47, yeah? Sub 45 time. And let me tell you when Karani is going to be in action again. So Karani will be in action on Tuesday. I'll just say all you hear it on Hard Talk. Don't go and just say in action on Tuesday. You know. I know some of my media friends does listen to hear these kind of things because they doesn't have it, you understand? Bull, you know, they may have that information, you know, it's me who have it, yeah? So Karani, he's in action on Tuesday. He'll be running at 9:35 in the morning. That's just before Hard Talk, so I get time to watch that race. Both himself and Braylon, they'll be in action in the heats. Yeah, that's the heats. So he's running on Tuesday, 9:35. And once both athletes progress, which we expect, but we have to pray, they'll both be in action on Wednesday in the semifinals. And they'll be running off at 1:35 Grenada time. So he's in action Tuesday, 9:35. Well, The heats start at 9:35. That doesn't mean that himself and Braylon are running specifically at 9:35. So you have heat 1, heat 2, heat 3, heat 4, whatever. So it's according to which heat he is in. The information as to who is in which heat and what exact time it's running off, that information will come out probably by the end of Friday when the opening of the games is taking place, Friday or Saturday. All right, but Karani and Braylon, and so they should be either in Doha already or on their way there to Qatar. Yeah? So 9:35 on Tuesday. All Grenadians should be in front of our TV, computer, all kind of thing. We're working, but we monitoring what's going on because Karani and Braylon are out there. We flag flying, and we don't make joke with that. Even if we have to abandon hard talk to watch, we're doing that. Semi-final will be taking place on Wednesday. That's at 1:35. So in case your lunch was 12, you could shift your lunch to 1 o'clock so you have enough time to make sure that you see the semi-final. So 1:35, that's when the semi-final heats start. And they usually run them off pretty quickly. So they try to get all 4 or 5 or whatever they have run off pretty quickly. It wouldn't be one race. It's a couple races because it's semi-finals. And then they choose the fastest for the final. And the final in the men's 400 meter at the 2019 World Athletics Championship. That is due to take place next week, Friday. And what time is that? 4:20. So it's at 3:20. 3:20 Grenada time. So the World Championship 400 meter, we're hoping to have 2 Grenadians in that like we had at the Olympic Games. That will be taking place next week, Friday. We want to see the semi-finals, the heats, the semi-final. We want to see everything. So we are missing nothing, right? Nice. So let me give you again the heats. They start next week, Tuesday from 9:35 in the morning. I don't know if GBN or MTV or anybody bringing it, but I know where to find it online. I go find it and watch it, yeah? GBN, I'll go let me know if I'll bring it. The semi-final, they'll be taking place at 1:35 on Wednesday. And the final will be taking place next week, Friday, at 3:20 p.m. Yeah? All of these is in the, 3:20 p.m. And remember, Grenada has Anderson Peters, the Commonwealth champion. The Grenada record holder in the javelin. Young man I'm very proud of. I looked at his progression from the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. I looked at his progression throughout the intercall games. Victor Ladorium several times. Yeah, he was the Victor Ladorium of the games. Busted them up in, oh Lord. I actually thought he would have gone to the decathlon, but he loved the javelin, man. And then he had that injury, so he decided to focus on the javelin. And both himself and Grenada all the better for it, yeah. So I'm not sure if he'll be in Javelin Group A or Group B. But by Saturday, we'll know when the listings come out. The listings are not out yet. So the Javelin starts at 9:30 next week, Saturday. Not this Saturday, next week, Saturday. From 9:30, the Javelin will be going on. So Javelin Group A starts at 9:30. Javelin Group B starts at 11 next week. Not this week, next week, Saturday. So we'll let you know which group he is in. So which time you should be glued to the television. And the final of the Javelin. It's going to be starting at 12:55 p.m. on Sunday after next. That's the 6th of October. Yeah, so the final of the Javelin will be there. We look forward to seeing our Anderson Peters making Grenada proud once again. And in the decathlon, yeah, that's the multi-discipline event. Our own Lyndon Victor, he'll be in action next week Wednesday. And next week Wednesday he has the 100 meter, that's at 9:35 a.m. Long jump at 10:30 a.m. Shot put at 11:50 a.m. The high jump at 1:40 p.m. The 400 meter at 4:15 p.m. All right, that's next week Wednesday. Then next week Thursday, he has the 110 meter hurdles at 9:35 a.m. The discus throw at 10:30 a.m. And there are two groups in the discus throw, so there's another group starting at 11:35. In the pole vault, there are two groups next week Thursday, one at 1:05 and one that starts at 12:05 in the pole vault next week Thursday. One of those groups, our own Lyndon Victor, will be in it. The javelin throw at 3:05 or in the group that starts at 10 minutes after 4 next week Thursday. So we'll get the specifics once the listings are out. And next week Friday, yeah, the final event of the decathlon, that's the 1500 meter. That's going to be at 5:25. So just giving you some information on the World Athletics Championships. Some Grenadians, yes, our Grenadians out there in Qatar, Middle Easterner. Opening ceremony will be taking place this Friday. Look forward to, our team. You see, gone are the days when you hear Grenada sending a team and it's one or two fellas, 3 guys, and you're only looking to see the opening ceremony because you think that's the only time you might see the Grenadian and somebody pass it a flag. And we done those things. We ain't in that. Nah, when we send in team these days, other countries afraid. Trinidad quaking in the boots because our Anderson beaters beat their double Olympic medalists. Yeah, Anderson Peters has beat Keyshawn Walcott at the Commonwealth Games. And he used to be looking up to Keyshawn. Because Keyshawn won the gold medal and followed it up with a silver medal at the last 2 Olympic Games. Yeah? So, right now, everybody looking at Anderson throughout the region, the javelin man. They're looking at Grenadians, they say, hey, them Grenadians are Kirani James and Braylon Taplin. 2 finalists in the Olympic Games in the 400 meter. Trinidad and Jamaica ain't doing that, but Grenada do it. Plus, they had 2 Ironman, you know. They have Kurt and they are Lyndon. Well, Kurt is not the World Championships, but Lyndon is there. I think Kurt got injured too and didn't finish at the Commonwealth Games. So he's most likely recuperating and probably wouldn't like to go to the World Championships. Right? Other than that, Kurt there. Kurt, you online? I wonder if you're online, man. No, you just tell me what's going on. No, you know, if you're there and you're listening Hard Talk, I know you go message one time. When you get the time, I know you just listen. Yeah, gone are the days. You see, these days, when you're talking about sports and you're talking about the island of Grenada, yeah, we could talk about, hey, we can invite the top athletes in the world to come to Grenada and perform at the Carriacou James Athletic and Football Stadium. Yeah? Could we have said that 20 years ago? Could we? Huh? We could have said that 20 years ago? Did I bring them in Queen's Park? Yeah? Good morning, Queen's Park. Now we can look at any athlete the world over, and this year coming up, 2020, we actually have, remember folks, it's an Olympic year. So a lot of folks are looking at the Grenada Invitational. Yeah. So when you see tickets go on sale for the Grenada Invitational, get yours early this year because it's an Olympic year and many of the people you're going to be seeing on the top tier of the Olympic stage, they are starting their season in Grenada. They've already started to make their contact and so on. They will be making their start to their season in the Spice Island, Grenada. At the Olympic Games, when they're giving some of the fastest times, you'll hear them saying, this person ran that time, the fastest time for the year thus far, and they ran it at the Grenada Invitational Carriacou James Athletic Stadium, Grenada. So when you see those tickets start to go on sale, get yours earlier. The start of athletics for 2020 in a significant way will be on the island of Grenada. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we couldn't say that. We could say it now. When we send a team, be it to the Commonwealth Games, Pan American Games, World Championships, or Olympic Games, we ain't just sending a team for sending a team's sake because the Olympic Association find we must send a team, or the Athletic Association decide we must send a team. When we send a team knowing that Grenada's flag will be flying high. Because they have world-leading times and distances and they have proved themselves on the international scene. Yeah? We know that for a fact. Folks, we're quickly running out of time today. Yeah? Folks, remember to eat local. Don't be asking yourself why all these kind of things happening. You've seen a lot of people coming down with kidney problems. You're asking yourself why? There are environmental concerns, yes. But some of it have to do with us. You don't want to exercise. You don't want to walk. You don't want to make a little run. Going right in the shop, just a few houses down. You want to jump in the car to go there and go back now, man. Afraid to walk up or down a hill? Come on, folks. And a lot of the stuff that some people was turning up their nose at not too long ago, right now is top cuisine in restaurants and all kind of thing, you know. Yeah, who would have thought that in 2019 you're going and buy breadfruit? Yeah, you're going and, now you talk about buy breadfruit in tongue and that kind of thing, you know. Talking about going into a restaurant and getting breadfruit. Yeah? That you're going to get oil down. And you see them making the oil down all kind of fancy thing and all kind of thing. Yeah? Or that you're going to get your what again? Your cuckoo. And those kind of things. You're going in a restaurant and ask for that. Oh yes, Beavis. The former students of the Wester Hall Secondary School, remember they're asking for that kind donation of $50 from you all, the past students. That's for November the 30th, the reunion event. And remember the meeting that's taking place tomorrow at the school from 5 p.m. So all the former students, 5 p.m. tomorrow at the Wester Hall Secondary School, celebrating 20 years. They'll be having that event on November 30th. So head on down, or across, or up, whichever direction you're coming from, just head on over there. And also remember, those of you in Monjaloo, 4:30 this Friday, they're going to be having the launch of the Monjaloo Sports Club Community Center project, as well as, let me just get a proper thing before I say the wrong thing there. The opening of the Monjaloo Sports Club Human Resource Development Center. And I think it's one thing. I'm hoping it's not two things. I don't know if they already had the sports club. I know they have the Human Resource Development Center, or if it's the sports club and the Human Resource Center. I'll make a call and confirm. So by the time we come back with Hard Talk tomorrow, you'll know exactly what it is that's going on. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We are out of here.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Prime Minister calls for action on climate change adaptation in meeting at the UN. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, September 24th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell has called for action on climate change adaptation as he addressed a meeting on the fringes of the United Nations General Assembly. Dr. Mitchell, who is a co-commissioner of the Global Commission on Adaptation, the GCA, says Caribbean countries are embarking on various initiatives to address climate change, but there is a need to do more.
We need action, not more talk. Action that will reduce the cost of the impact of climate change. Action that will provide sustainable mechanisms to help people and communities to cope. Action that will enable us to build the resilience required. Action that will enable us to reduce losses and strengthen our economic and social capital. Such actions, colleagues, however, need to be fully resourced. I therefore call on the international community and those who are listening to join in this effort and provide the financing required to climate-proof or vulnerable countries.
The Prime Minister pledged Grenada's commitment to continue being a partner in the work of the GCA, and he commended the Commission for helping to change the focus on climate change from mitigation of greenhouse gases to adaptation and resilience. Tuesday's GCA event at the UN headquarters in New York was the launching pad for a year of action, which is intended to advance the recommendations in the Commission's flagship report, which was issued earlier this month. The Year of Action will also help accelerate adaptation around the world, improve human well-being, and result in more sustainable economic development and security. The year will culminate with a Climate Adaptation Summit in the Netherlands in October 2020. Dr. Mitchell has been one of the co-commissioners of the Global Adaptation Commission since it was launched in October last year. The Commission, according to its website, has a mandate to manage the effects of climate change through technology, planning and investment. The Commission is led by former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, along with Bill Gates and World Bank CEO Kristalina Georgieva. 2 emergency operating centers are to be constructed in the state, one on the mainland and the other on the sister isle Carriacou, at a total cost of $6.5 million. That announcement by the Honorable Nicholas Steele, Minister for Health, Social Security and International Business, during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
We're pleased to announce the construction of 2 emergency operating centers, one in Grenada and one in Carriacou. The one in Grenada is going to be in Monjalou, estimated cost $3.9 million. Completion date estimated to be 31st of March 2021. And the one in Carriacou, estimated cost $2.6 million. Completion date estimated to be 20th of February 2021. Both of these facilities come with the kind donations from the United States government through coordination with Southcom and Naval Facilities Command, who are the ones in this region that help deal with emergencies, national emergencies, for the islands.
Using the opportunity to commend the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA for timely dissemination of information regarding Tropical Storm Karen on Sunday, Minister Steele said his government is looking forward to the commencement of the structures to strengthen the agency's ability to respond to natural disasters. A contract has already been awarded.
There is first and foremost a U.S., in this instance, a U.S. contractor that has been awarded, and that is the Naval Facility Command Engineering. They will now come down to Grenada and go through a process of a subcontractor as to whether, based on their rules, so this is not applicable to our rules of procurement where we are receiving the money to then go through, which we would go through a tender process. In this instance, they are delivering a turnkey to us. So while there's a dollar value attached, their contractor will go through process according to their rules to get a Grenadian subcontractor or subcontractors to do the construction. We look forward in that process to as many jobs being created in Grenada and the sister island, coordinating with them wherever possible.
The projected completion date for both projects are February and March of 2021. Minister Steele says the structures will be built to resist hurricanes, earthquakes, and floods. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Continuing the news, 5,156 Grenadians have benefited from the week-long visit to Grenada of the U.S. naval ship Comfort. The ship, which provided walk-in services from general surgery to dermatology, helped to ease the burden on Grenada's health sector, especially in the area of cataract surgery. Statistically, 2,366 persons received general health care, 1,925 were seen for optometry, 769 for dentistry, and more than 100 surgeries. Senior Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin spoke to the surgeries performed during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
According to the breakdown, the 90-plus surgeries that was noted are actually major surgeries. But when we look at through the family medicine and the family practice and other forms of services that required surgical procedures, we had an additional 50-plus surgical procedures, and those would include things like keloid removal, biopsies, removal of cysts, the lumps and bumps kind of issues. So when we really add those two together with the 96 surgeries, we come up to about close to 150. It's about 147 surgeries. And initially the ship had planned on giving 150 surgeries. So from that standpoint, we have accomplished our objective in terms of the surgeries.
More than a day was lost due to negative press prior to the ship's arrival. Health Minister, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, hopes people will see the merits of taking early advantage of these opportunities in the future.
We, the ministry, had to actively get involved in further public relations, getting people to give testimonials, etc., on air, to convince Grenadians that the rubbish that was being said by a few others on social media was exactly that, totally ridiculous. And thankfully at that point, people saw the facts and the truth and came out and took advantage of the opportunity. But regrettably, we lost about a day and a half in terms of having a maximum showing on the Sunday and the Monday. So the lesson there is to be cautious of what's on social media. All that's on social media isn't necessarily true. And there are naysayers who weren't even Grenadians in the beginning, who were posting stuff, but Grenadians were circulating it, that denied us as a people the opportunity for proper medical care, or some of us. Because up to the last day, we had large crowds there at both staging grounds. But unfortunately, the team was here for a significant period, but was here for a definite period. So on the Friday afternoon, they had to close up shop, much to the regret of many Grenadians who still had not been seen to, that we now have to follow up and find ways that we can get their issues addressed. But it just shows, I think we need to be less gullible. We need to have more faith in our government and our government system and our doctors who are independent of our government and our government system.
In other news on the medical front, the General Hospital has been recognized by the Pan American Health Organization as a baby-friendly hospital, coming second behind Barbados, which has already been recognized as such. The General Hospital has been consistent with the practices, procedures, and policies of the 10 steps to breastfeeding. The health minister presented a plaque in recognition to hospital staff on Tuesday. Finally, organizers of the inaugural Ariza Pure Grenada Open Water Invitational say the event has surpassed their expectations. The invitational attracted more than 100 swimmers to Grandance Beach over the weekend, 42 of them coming from the US, Sweden, and Canada. It was witnessed by scores of supporters, including Minister for Sports Senator Nolan Cox, who commended all parties involved for making it a success.
One of the things that we know about this event that it's going to grow. We didn't spend much time together with GASA marketing it and advertising as it should because we were trying to get it within a particular window. However, it has turned out very well. I must commend GASA for the efforts. I mean, they have been doing an excellent job, and I think this is a new event on our calendar, sporting event on our calendar that is going to grow and expand. One of the things that I'm also happy about is that I think 10 swimmers from Carriacou was also part of today's event, which is very significant. Carriacou and Pidimanic have a strong swimming contingency, so I think it was good to include them as well to ensure that they get part of this experience. So this is a wonderful, wonderful event for us. I think it's gonna be massive going forward.
Health Minister, the Honourable Nicholas Steele, an avid fan of the sport, says an event of that nature in the south of the island, in particular Grandance Beach, is long overdue, and he used the opportunity to commend GASA, Ariza, GTA, and other stakeholders.
We've had the Cross Harbour that has shown the potential. Open water has always had a potential here. This is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So it just seems obvious that all of this should have happened. So it's great that they're doing it. I am proud that it's happening in this constituency, but also proud to have been associated with swimming for decades.
The CEO of Ariza, title sponsor of the event, Lucia Livingston-Andal, believes with stakeholder participation and teamwork, the Open Water Invitational has the potential to grow.
We see this as a beginning of great things for Grenada, both in terms of our involvement on the international scene, and also perhaps being a catalyst for the OECS to really springboard into open water swimming in a big way.
And how satisfied are you because we're seeing a number of young swimmers?
Oh, the young people are the future of our nations. The young people is where it all begins. And we're very, very, very pleased to see the participation of the young people. And through the years, there are a number of young people who have swum and who have fallen away. And we want to encourage them to use this opportunity to get back into swimming.
The winners were awarded with medals and trophies, compliments title sponsor Ariza. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.